You know what is one more thing that really frustrates me, because and we spoke about it before. I don't know if we spoke about it on the podcast, but we spoke about it for sure many times. There is a structural problem in how we are debating, how we are looking at the political debate. My
Mhm.
point of view is that instead of debating real problems, we're putting so much energy into debating ideology, historical grievances, especially in Eastern Europe. So if you look at politics in Europe right now, you're branding yourselves either as patriots, that's one opposition, and then the other one is progressives. So you're either defending something or moving forward. How about what if we organized the way we view it in a different way? So not patriots versus progressives, but let's say doers and those who deliver versus protectors of the Titanic. I don't know. I don't say that every progress is good. That I'm conservative in many um, respect, but in a broad respect in my political views. But how would you look at a political scene that is divided between doers and deliverers and those who just talkers? Maybe that's the right division: doers and talkers.
It sounds very common sense. It sounds very common sense because otherwise we're living a political tragedy in Europe. And that tragedy is that the current progressive establishment fails to take us to the future. And the challengers, the contenders, are claiming they want to take us back into the past. So the people are in a tragic situation where they're either promised stagnation or um, going way, way back into the past, a past that we know that it didn't work in the first place. So I would agree with you. We need to focus on the people who can deliver. And I always say this, we need to make sure that Europe is effective. It is doing something good for the people. And that is a justification. That is the only justification for its existence, right? It's exactly the same as the state. The state exists because it can defend the nation, the heritage, the way of life, the language. Um, if it fails to do all that, then there is no justification for its existence. The state is there, or the EU, Europe is there to improve our conditions of life, our economic prosperity, our security, the defense, literally the defense of the continent. If Europe cannot do that, what's the point? What's the point? The only problem, and that's again another tragic dimension of our political predicament, is that most of us realize, that we're entering at least a period of history where size matters above anything else. It's the period of giants. The United States, China,
Yeah.
the big state is back. The big empire is back, and smaller states, but even the bigger member states, can no longer keep us safe in this world. We need to group together and unite in order to be able to resist the influence, address the challenges, um, address the threats, the various threats that we face. And these are common things, and that's why we have to think in collective terms, but not with the current political lineup. Let's say if we can divide them in doers and dreamers, or ideologues, doers and ideologues, I think that would make much more sense than left and right. Left and right is in the past anymore. And anyway, so
nobody understands what the meaning of left and right is these days, I would say. But isn't it a paradox that the political elites of Europe are trying to deal with a world that is becoming more and more uncomfortable to live in for everyone, for various reasons. And within this process, so many are focusing of not making people more uncomfortable with too much reforms. So what people are doing is just proposing minor reshuffles in order to, just not make someone else uncomfortable with a national, with disrupting someone's national bureaucracy.